Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we got a 2018 Nissan Rogue here. 4-cylinder car, 4-wheel drive. And we're gonna change the rear brake pad, so it's gonna be just a brake pad slap. That's what we call it. But anyways, the customer went and got me the parts from the dealer, original. There you go, if you're looking to get those. Anyways, it's gonna come inside a box like this. Inside this box, you're gonna have these bluish looking brake pads. So that's what we changing right here. Alright, these are the brake pads of this Murano, okay? Not a Murano, Rogue. Keep saying Murano because Murano, I worked a lot on those. But anyways, it's not gonna come with the hardware kit, pretty much those shims in the back. So we are gonna take the older ones, put them on, a little bit of greasing, and put these guys right in. Pay attention to when I put the sensor in, this pad, it has to go in a certain direction. It has to be in the back, but either on the top, and if I take this pad, put it on, it'll be in the bottom. You see that? So it does have a direction, all right? But anyways, let's get this job going. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go close up, and it's gonna be a very simple job, all right? It's only one bolt that we need to take off, or both of those bolts, all right, to make it easy. All right, so very simple, guys. We're gonna remove this 14 here and this 14 here, but this line is gonna bother you. So if your socket doesn't fit on it, let me give it a shot. And okay, you know what? Let's try the bottom one, and then we should be able to lift this up and slide the pin out. But if I see any force on the line, I am gonna remove the second bolt, okay? Because I do not want to force anything on that line. Okay, so this bolt here, this screw here, it goes all the way through. So it's like a sliding pin with a bolt together, okay? So pay attention to your rubber boot. You don't want to damage the rubber boot either. Give it good turns. Best thing I would do is I would tell you to take off this one as well. But if you can get it off without it, and look, right there, this is lubricated really well. So we probably won't even touch that. And this is a fairly new car. And look at that. All right, so that's perfect. You don't need to take the second bolt. So let's take this. I'm gonna put my caliper up on the top here. So I just put my caliper right there. We're gonna let it sit there till we compressed, okay? Let's come back down. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out this brake pad and this brake pad here, which is nice and tight, stuck in there. So let me get something to pull that out. So you can use a flathead, anything that's gonna push that brake pad out for you. Okay, just try not to damage the disc. And there's your brake pad. Okay, so notice this sensor on this brake pad is in the bottom. We're gonna put it back in the same spot, okay? But first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna clean up the surface where the brake pads are gonna sit. Okay, so wire brush, anything that you could clean this with would be a good idea. Just give it a small little touch. Same thing here, same thing over there. Make sure you don't breathe in this dust here. There's gonna be more in the bottom than the top because all the dust all go down. Okay, that looks pretty good to me right there. All right, and what we're gonna do is this rubber boot fell off, so make sure you get that rubber boot and make sure you put it in the same direction, which is in this way. Okay, you can even put that on later. All right, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our brake pads. You see the two with sensors. So see which one. If you put this one in, it has to go. It only goes one way. See this around the surface, just like the disc. So this will be wrong. This one in the bottom right there is good. So what I like to do is I like to take these little guys off the older one. All right. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get a flathead screwdriver to help me out a little bit. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. These just come right off. Let's put this pad away, the old one. Okay. You see greasing there? They do put greasing, but the customer did not request anything, and he wants to bring all of his stuff, so not much I could do there. All right, so put a little bit of greasing there, and then put this hardware kit on. What I like to do also is I like to clean this, okay? All right, you know what? Customer requested, but to make the job right, I am gonna put a little bit of greasing there. So let's Scrape the old one off here. Brand new brake pads, manufactured originally, and doesn't want the greasing on, so let's put some greasing on. So there's the tap of grease. You can move it around if you like, or just leave it there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna simply just move it around a little bit. There you go, perfectly even, and it's gonna squeeze itself. Just try not to touch it. See, I got grease on my finger. I'm not gonna try to touch that brake pad, so we don't mess that up. Okay, there you go. Pad goes in nice and simple. So we got another one here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the second one. Be careful with your finger with the grease on it. We're gonna take the hardware of this one. Same thing, okay? Let's clean off the old greasing here. And what I'm gonna do is put a small tap. But for new greasing, rub it around. Take this pad and get our hardware kit on. There you go. And the procedure is same for the opposite side, guys, all right? There you go. It looks really good. All right, so I'm gonna clean up my hands, and now we're gonna compress the pistons. All right, notice, like I said, these pins got a good amount of lube, okay? So we do not need to go crazy with the lube. All right, guys, so with the piston here, so what I like to do is take your wire brush, okay? Nothing hard, just try to clean all the dust off it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna compress this piston, okay? So what I would suggest is if you're using a C-clamp, put your old brake pad right there and compress that piston. But in my case, I have this tool here which works like a brake pad right there on this small little piston. I don't need to worry about making an uneven pressure there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna simply just push this piston right back. You could use a C-clamp, which would be this way. All right, be careful with the lining too when you're using a C-clamp. All right, so let's put this right back because I'm gonna make one small little greasing move on this little guy. So what I'm gonna do is little bit. Oh, I forgot one key point that I did on the inner brake pad. So clean off the dust off the hardware here as well. And then you can apply a little bit of greasing here and a little bit on the back side, on the back brake pad, okay? You cannot put any grease on the surface that's gonna meet on this disc, okay? So take this little guy, slide the pin in, push it down. It should go in evenly and nicely. And you're gonna take your last little step here. This pin here, it got a good amount of greasing on it, guys. So if you're not gonna put, like I said, I keep repeating that. But anyways, job well done. The procedure is the same for the opposite side, nothing different, okay? Make sure you tighten this. I do not have torque specs on this, but I am gonna tighten this to best of my ability here. And also pay attention to this boot, okay? This boot has pushed its way out of there. So take something like a flathead screwdriver, or even your fingers would do, okay? Make sure the boot sits on it evenly, perfect. There you go, we're looking in good hands. Anyways, guys, the procedure is the same for the opposite side. Make sure you pump your brake pedal a few times before you start the car, and it will be hard and it will get soft, okay? Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.